After nearly 4 months of action, 84 clubs in northern New South Wales have been reduced to just 8. And over the coming week, the final 2 clubs who will represent Northern will be decided. First up, on the first Saturday of the first day of the June long weekend, it's a clash of 2 NPL titans as Northern New South Wales football's undisputed FFA Cup kings in Edgeworth take on a club who's come within 45 minutes of making Australia's final 32 back a few years ago in Hamilton Olympic. And both sides out of the match in red-hot form. Edgeworth have lost just 1 of their last 12. Olympic, they've won 5 of their last 6. So it's a cup showdown to kick us off as round 6 of the Westfield FFA Cup gets underway in Lake Macquarie this morning. Now let's get the team news for Pete McGuinness and Hamilton Olympic, the designated away side for this morning's match. They make 3 changes from the side who played 2 weeks ago in that 2-1 victory up at Western. They missed last week's match against Charlestown as it was washed out. Blake Green, he drops back to the bench. Jared Sutherland is out injured, and Leo Bertos is up on the north coast for the state title, so he's out of this Olympic side. Reece Cooper is back from Spain, played futsal for representing the local club, and Scott Pettit and Simon Mooney, they're back after serving a suspension. And for Edgeworth, they played last weekend and they drew 1-1 with Lambton. Damien Zane makes a couple of changes from that side. Dylan Holtz is back, as is Josh Evans, and Aaron McLaughlin drops back to the bench. Jamie Burns is out of the side altogether. Just looking at both sides' benches, Edgeworth have got a new backup goalkeeper in Declan Crook, plays in the FFA Cup this morning. And for Hamilton Olympic, Kane Treble, look out for him. He scored his first NPL goal, the winner for Hamilton 2 weeks ago against Western. Now the weather here at Lake Macquarie, it has been an overcast week in Newcastle, fairly rainy as well. Currently we're sitting at 14 degrees. The wind 10 kilometres an hour from the northwest, so that will be favouring Edgeworth in this opening half. Referee for this morning's match is Ryan Gallagher. Does some assistant refereeing in the A-League and in the centre for this one. And for the coaches, Pete McGuinness for Hamilton Olympic reaches round 6 of the FFA Cup for the first time, and Damien Zane will look to win his 14th straight FFA Cup match at the local level. An incredible record, that one. So it's Edgeworth to kick us off from left to right of screen in their black, predominantly black, and with the red V, and Olympic in their away kit predominantly white. Ryan Gallagher gets us underway, and Don Bazzari quickly looks forward for Will Bauer. Joining me in commentary for this first match is Damien Smith. And Smudge, can Olympic and Edgeworth's golden run of FFA Cup form?
Yeah, I think Edgeworth here are definitely favourites, but I don't think they'll have it all their own way. Olympic's been in form late. Like you said before, they've won 5 of their last 6, 2 in the NPL. 4 in the NPL, 2 in the FFA Cup. However, Edgeworth's in form as well. But this is a different track to what they're normally used to playing on. So Edgeworth's used to this track. I think Edgeworth's going to be hard to beat, but they definitely won't have it all the way, especially with the front 4 of Olympic who have got some pace.
Just an incredible stat to kick us off this morning, Smudge. Edgeworth under Damien Zane, they've made this round 6 and 7 of the FFA Cup, of course, the last 3 years. They have not conceded on this surface in 6 matches. Just incredible, that statistic for Edgeworth.
Well, just on that, as you know, Damien Zane, this is his priority, isn't it, for the year? FFA Cups is Edgeworth's priority. The comp comes in second place, and he's said that in the media. So, you know, they look forward to this weekend every year, and, you know, their aim is to get through to the FFA Cup round of 32.
So it's Scott Pettit standing over the free kick. Of course, back from suspension after he missed that last NPL match, and it's whipped in, and Reece Pappas with an early header, and Hamilton Olympic open the scoring. And for the first time in 6 matches here, Edgeworth concede on this synthetic surface. Just incredible, Smudge.
But is that the commentator's curse? You were just saying how they haven't conceded in 6 times virtually a second ago. And what a great header by Pappas. What a brilliant ball in by Scotty Pettit. The surface is perfect, so it sort of sits up nice. And no one competed with Pappas, and well placed. And Olympic go 1-0 up, nice and early.
It was just a great free kick, wasn't it? Right on a dime for Reece Pappas, who scores just his 2nd goal in all competitions this season. Scored that stunning free kick against Valentine back in round 3 of the NPL. But you sense that one could be more crucial for Olympic.
Yeah, great start for Olympic. I think it's very important for Olympic to settle into the game because, as you know, if Edgeworth get in front, they're hard to pin back. They've got experienced players there just to ride out the game, don't they? So, great start for Hamilton Olympic.
Well, we saw that last year, didn't we, Smudge? Lambton played Edgeworth in the FFA Cup. It was a tight match early on. And then Edgeworth ran over the top of Lambton. 5-0 they beat them in the end. So it just shows you Edgeworth can turn it on in the FFA Cup, but they're going to have to do it from behind for the first time in these round 6 and 7 matches.
Yeah, you know what? It's always good to score early, but also it can change your mindset as well. You can go into more of a defensive pattern if you score nice and early, which could hinder you. So, and as you can feel, the rain starting to drip down here now, Bart.
We are expecting a little bit of drizzle today. Not as heavy though as last year. It basically teamed down the whole day. This one chip forward, Josh Evans. He's just let that run on a touch.
And these are the games players like Josh Evans, they really send up. Your Daniel McBreen's, Josh Evans, obviously Josh Rose just back from the Central Coast Mariners. They'll step up. But like I said, there's still a long way to go. And it always takes a little bit of time to get used to the surface as well. It takes about 10 or 15 minutes because they haven't played on this surface at all this year. So always takes a little bit just to mould in. And again, Hamilton Olympic here, nice and compact, about 25 metres from their defence to their number 9, making it difficult for Edgeworth to play through.
That's Kyle Hodges with an important interception. These two sides have met. This is their third meeting in the FFA Cup in the last 4 years. Edgeworth have won 2 of those, of course, knocking Hamilton out in round 4 in 2015. And this one dinked through for Dylan Holtz. Maybe an early equaliser for Edgeworth. It didn't take them long. Dylan Holtz, he's back in the side and he's back on the score sheet. And as quickly as they go behind, Edgeworth equalise, and we've got 2 goals, Smudge, in the opening 5 minutes.
Yes, unbelievable. I'd like to see the replay on that again. Looked like a good one too with Dylan Holtz, and he just puts it away, used his strength, held off the defenders, and the ball just trickled over in the net. Here it goes. Good one too with Adam Crawley. Used his strength.
A little deflection, didn't help Tyler Warren at all.
Yeah. So 1-1. Very exciting start to the match.
2 goals in the opening 4.5 minutes, and it is a fast surface, we say that. And with that, brings goals.
And you've seen just early on a few of the passes haven't stuck because the ball's just travelled too quickly just in front. So, but yeah, great opening for both teams.
And that'll just cool the Edgeworth nerves, I'm sure, after going behind. Of course, they played South Melbourne in the round of 32 last year, and that was a heartbreaking defeat, 0-0 into stoppage time, and then a late goal from Milos Luic won the match for South Melbourne as extra time beckoned.
Yeah, they were tremendous in that match, weren't they, Bart? Nate Cavalieri was tremendous in goals, and Edgeworth had a chance to take the lead at half-time, but yeah, South Melbourne just got him in the 90th minute, and Josh Rose on the left-hand side.
There's Tom Davies cutting out the passes. Josh Rose was bombing forward. This is our first look at him on Bar TV. Haven't had an Edgeworth match in quite a while, and it'll be interesting to see how the former Mariner, who of course retired this year, played his final match for the Central Coast, of course, in that 8-2 drubbing against the Jets. Not the ideal farewell as Pettit gets brought to ground.
Just looking early at the match, you notice Edgeworth, they're really trying to drive the ball into Daniel McBreen. He's playing in the number 9 nice and early and trying to feed off him. Libby just need to probably screen Daniel McBreen just a little bit with Pappas and Jake McGuinness to screen in that space in front of Daniel McBreen. I noticed Rose just had the ball straight into McBreen and the midfielders are bouncing off him.
And if you can get this surface down pat, it's such a great surface if you can distribute very well, isn't it? If you can put it on a dime, that's what Daniel McBreen will be looking to do, I'm sure. Yeah,
well, it's a pure bounce, isn't it? There's no deviation in the bounce.
So Josh Lowe in goals. Of course, replacing Nate Cavalieri. He's been there for 3 matches in the NPL. He's actually played the previous 2 FFA Cup matches this season. Edgeworth knocking over Singleton in round 4-0, and then Valentine in round 5 1-0. Josh Lowe got the chance between the sticks in both of those matches, so he won't be lacking experience in the Cup. He played in the NPL finals last year, and it's great to see another young player coming through the ranks at Edgeworth. There's Tom Davies up the line for Simon Mooney. He's been so prolific of late, as has that man Scott Pettit, whose shot was blocked. Simon Mooney scored 5 goals in his last 3 matches.
Yeah, just on Simon Mooney. He's been playing the number 9 most of the year, and McGuinness has elected to play him wide on the right-hand side, which is very dangerous. He's got a great ball delivery, and he can score goals from it there. And Jed Honoree's come into the centre of the park. He's a goal scorer as well in that number 9 position. He's a great little player.
He scored twice in his first 2 matches for Olympic, Jed Horner, and then was injured, which was a real bugger for Hamilton. So we see this free kick, Daniel McBrain just brought to ground on the edge of the 18-yard box.
I think it's very important for both sides, and you see with Scott Pettit's free kick in the first half, because the field is so natural and pure, having free kicks just outside the box is very dangerous. I was watching when the players were warming up, they were just striking them perfectly, and then free kicks just outside the box. So this is a very dangerous area for Olympic.
So it's Tyson Jackson and Adam Corley over it. It will be Tyson Jackson to take. He dinks it in towards the back post. Well, as you said, it's such a great service for these free kicks. We've already seen a goal from Scott Pettit's where he put it straight on the head of Reece Pappas. Now Cody Lucas breaking down the left edge. Pettit, who scored in the nationwide FFA Cup stage, Scott Pettit for Broadmeadow Magic. And that was in the first year of the competition in 2014 against Brisbane Strikers. Here he is. Still Pettit trying to weave his way away from Dobson.
Well defended by Dobson. It's great that Zane has got faith in Dobson. Josh Evans comes back into the side and he's kept Dobson in the centre of the park with him. So he's a great young player, Dobson.
Kyle Hodges and Cody Lucas playing a left back role, which we will chat about in a sec. Mooney on the swivel, ricocheted up, and Corley got a toe to clear it away. Reece Cooper back from Spain after playing in the futsal championships over there.
You know what? He's a very good futsal player, Reece Cooper. Similar surface, isn't it? So he'll relish the opportunity to play on this surface today.
And that would have helped him a lot, playing futsal and now coming straight onto this surface.
Yeah, totally.
Probably the most well-equipped of all players out there. But just on, we were talking Cody Lucas left back, of course. So Reece Pappas, he's been moved back alongside Kyle Hodges at centre back. And that's pushed Cody Lucas out to the left and Blake Green to the bench.
Yeah, but he's also, Tommy Davies was playing in the centre of the back line as well. So they moved him out right because obviously there's a bit of pace out on the left-hand side in Adam Crawley. So he probably wants to nullify Adam Crawley's pace. And Cody Lucas has got some pace as well, so he'll nullify Will Bauer's pace out here as well. But to be honest, I like Reece Pappas playing in the central role. He reads the game really well. He's got great distribution, and that's what McGuinness will be looking for. I'd probably prefer him at the back rather than in that number 6, number 8 role, to be honest.
And also alongside Kyle Hodges, he's got a little bit more pace than Kyle, so ball goes over the top, he can get back.
But also he reads the game really well. So does Kyle Hodges, but yeah, for such a young player, he reads the game very well.
Tackle from Davies. He dispossessed Adam Corley.
And that's what we're talking about, that duel there between Davies. Oh, nice touch.
We were talking a lot about it last year, Smudge, about how this surface benefits technically good players with great first touches. Here's Dylan Holtz. He's already scored this morning. Now McBrain. He dink it in. Will Bauer just couldn't keep the header down. It was just a touch high for him.
And again, Edgeworth, when they go forward, they've got great runners off the ball, forward runners. Will Bauer comes in the back seat. The ball is just a little bit too high. They look dangerous every time they go forward, Edgeworth. But in saying that, so do Olympic.
Now, I'd just like to thank Instant Access Scaffolding for all your scaffolding needs. They're sponsoring the broadcast today, so thanks so much for their support. And that's why the camera's up, perched nice and high above the cage here at the Lake Macquarie Regional Football Facility. Great to have them on board, so thanks to Instant Access. We'll give them a few plugs today, Smudge, I'm sure.
Definitely. I highly recommend their service.
Here's Tom Davies. He's looking for Reece Cooper, but Josh Evans read that well. And Josh Evans, he would have come into this game knowing how important his role was in terms of just diffusing Reece Cooper's influence on this particular match.
Yeah, there's two things with Josh.
Here's Mitch Dobson. Jed Horner, he was across there, but Dobson just got to boot in first.
Yeah, he did well, Dobson, didn't he? Good pressure by Jed Jed Honoré. Hey, just on Josh Evans. Two things about him: he reads the play really well, but also when boys are under pressure, he calms it down. He's very patient on the ball, and also can inject himself forward and be that extra man in midfield when required. So he's an absolute quality player.
Now, did you know that Josh Evans and Josh Rose actually played in the same Brisbane Strikers side in 2003, 2004? They're both playing for the Brisbane Strikers in the NSL. Josh Evans just played the one match, and Josh Evans over 50 for the Strikers, so former teammates from a while back joined together again at Edgeworth. There's Pat Wheeler. He's got himself out of a tight spot there. Jacob Bailey and Horner and Pettit all there. And Wheeler's got away from Jacob Bailey. Here's Dylan Holtz. Now Daniel McBreen has some space out on the left, and he's already scored twice against Olympic this year, and that didn't miss by much. We'll remember that back in round 6 in the NPL.
Yeah, remember that clearly. But see there, Edgeworth, their transition's nice and quick. The speed of play of this surface is great, so very unlucky there, Edgeworth. But Olympic just need to be careful they don't get numbers pushed forward, too many numbers pushed forward, because the quick transition by Edgeworth could hurt them on the break. I do remember that NPL game when McBreen came on with 20 to go, and he's 2 quick goals and sealed victory. Up until then, it was such a tight affair.
Yeah, they've only won one of the last 4 between the sides. Edgeworth. That one earlier this year in round 6. They did, of course, beat them in the Cup last year. But Hamilton have had the wood over the Eagles in the NPL. Here's Mooney. Now Corley. Back to Josh Rose, who finds Dom Bazari. He's been in some good goal-scoring touch of late, Bazari. Scored 1 in the FFA Cup and a couple in the NPL. Tyson Jackson. Scott Pettit just trying to use his body to push down. I don't know if that crossed the line, Smudge. Do you think it...
Yeah, I think that was fair for the Lions. I think the Lions have got the decision right. It looked like it didn't cross the line, and Edgeworth kept it in. Always a chat.
Now it just clatters into Jacob Bailey.
Good to see Jacob Bailey back on his feet, playing properly again after his knee reconstruction last year.
Missed a whole season. That's tough.
And he was fit as well, so obviously missing a whole season. It takes a while to get back to full fitness. It's great to see him back. But you can see then, see the ball run straight on. Dobson just a nice gliding header back to Josh Lowe, and the ball just skids on.
And some of these young Jets youth players, we mentioned how good Adam Corley was on this surface last year. Mitch Dobson be pretty good as well, because they spend a lot of time training out here in their younger days. Here's Dylan Holtz taking on a shot from distance. Couldn't keep it down though. But they did just hang off him a touch.
I noticed both teams are playing the ball forward nice and quick. Obviously, they're going I wouldn't say direct, but they're playing the ball forward, straight into the feet of the strikers, and they're feeding off the strikers. You haven't seen too much build-up play at the moment. It's a very quick game. Obviously, the surface contributes to this.
Mace Cooper just deflects that to Pettit. Now
Great
Horner,
ball.
he's dinked it up. Josh Lowe got a hand to it, but he couldn't keep it out. And Jed Hornery grabs his second FFA Cup goal of the season, and Olympic are back in front.
You know what? That comes down to delivery from Scott Pettit. Like we said before, they transitioned nice and quick and went from the fullback straight into Reece Cooper. He knocks it back. So what a great delivery by Scotty Pettit. Jed Hornery, what a terrific strike. Just went over Josh Evans' head, and to reach that and put that past Josh Lowe was absolutely tremendous. What a terrific goal by Olympic.
So a couple of goals in the FFA Cup for Horner and a couple in the NPL now.
But you said about 10 minutes ago that no one has scored against Edgeworth in the FFA Cup. Olympic has scored 2 goals in 16 minutes.
In round 6 and 7.
In round 6 and 7. Yeah, sorry. In round
on
6
this,
and 7.
And the reason, if you're watching from around Australia and you're going, well, that's a real specific stat. Round 6 and 7 in Northern is always played on this surface.
Yes.
So that's why we're highlighting that. Always on the synthetic.
So that's an absolute commentator's curse, mate. You just said it.
And 2 goals in 15 minutes. Yeah, so I'll just go through those results. So 2015, they beat Coffs 4-0, Adamstown 3-0. 2016, they beat Urunga 3-0, Singleton 7-0. And then last year, Lambton 5-0, Maitland 1-0. They're down 2-1 here. Pat Wheeler just into the heel of Cody Lucas. amount of goals we've seen already, I don't think Edgeworth will be too concerned. 3 goals in 17 and a half minutes already. We saw 2 in the first 4 as Josh Evans pushes forward. Dink it wide to find McBrain. McBrain's high foot, just collects Jacob Bailey. Really, this match just seems to be drawing parallels with me too. A couple of years ago when Hamilton Olympic went into the round 7 match against Lambton as raging hot favourites and Lambton knocked them over. It was a real shock. This particular match, Edgeworth have come in as favourites and Olympic making it difficult for them early on.
Yeah, but you know what, Olympics in form. I'd say Edgeworth were favourites, but not raving hot favourites, because Olympics got shown some form in the local NPL, and they're a good young side.
Here's Bauer, threading it wide for Jackson. Infield for Holtz. On the swivel, Dylan Holtz. Scored Edgeworth's only goal. It's Cody Lucas.
Do you know what, Bart? There's still a long way to go, and there's definitely more goals in this game. So I wouldn't write Edgeworth off just yet. And again, what I like, see Olympics defence, they're pushed right nice and high. There's only probably about 20, 30 yard between their front line and their back four. Compacts the space. And again, McGuinness is saying to Bales and Jacob Bailey and Jake McGuinness, just screen them balls into McBreen, because that's what Edgeworth's doing well. Balls into McBreen and the midfielder feeding off him.
Tyson Jackson. And Dobson, 2 former Jets youth teammates. Josh Evans just surveys the ground and sees the run of Josh Rose. Simon Mooney makes it back for Olympic. Hornery back to Cooper. Did he get a little nibble? He did from Pat Wheeler. For Edgeworth, the last 3 years, they've made the nationwide round of 32. Hamilton Olympic yet to make it. And whoever wins this will go to within 1 match of that final 32 in Australia. The draw on the 26th of June on Fox Sports. So make sure you check that one out in a few weeks' time. A couple of weeks now. Here's Bazzari. Dinking one over, but Cody Lucas has just got too much pace for Will Bauer. You were talking about that matchup earlier, Smudge.
I wouldn't say too much pace, but I think Will Bauer is probably slightly big. But the way Cody Lucas checked Will Bauer as he was trying to run through, it was like, well, it was high class. Just checked his run, just stood in front of Will Bauer so he couldn't make the run over. Otherwise, Will Bauer was in.
Dylan Holtz clattering into Hodges. That wouldn't have tickled for Kyle Hodges. Bit of a shoulder. Will if we can have a look at it.
He's an aggressive player, Dylan Holtz. He had every right to go for the ball, but I think he collected Hodges just slightly late. Looks like he got him around the kidney area.
There it is.
Oh, knee into the kidney.
Definitely.
That's very painful.
Might just take a couple of minutes to gather himself. The Olympic skipper. Hasn't scored a goal in the NPL in 6 years, Kyle Hodges.
He won't go down, Bart. He's a very tough player.
He'll stay out there.
Yeah.
And the number 22, normally with the 2, so I assume this kit for Olympic doesn't have the number 2, the away kit. Or someone's lost it in the wash. Josh Lowe.
I noticed one thing today, Olympic, they're not playing as much possession-based football in their back third. That's where they've unfortunately conceded quite a few goals when they've been caught out playing out from the back. They're sort of getting the ball forward into the front, into the striker's feet and playing in the front third, which is what I like.
A little more pragmatic.
Yep. Just a little bit away from danger. You try and hold possession further up the pitch rather than your back third, because if you do turn it over, you know, the opposition's only got 20-odd yards to go towards goal, and it's caused a few goals this year. Probably about 3 or 4 what I've seen. Even corners are dangerous on this service, Bart, because like I said, you've got that pure service. You can really whip it in towards towards the post.
So a little bit of wind behind Jackson. That one well over hit. Wind coming across ground from the northwest, so a touch behind Edgeworth. We tick over the halfway point in this opening half of the first match of 4 today in round 6 of the FFA Cup in northern New South Wales, where 8 teams will become 4. First 2 matches, NPL clashes, Edgeworth up against Olympic here, and then Broadmeadow against Adamstown. It was Edgeworth and Broadmeadow who made it through to the round of 32 last year. From Northern, Bizzari. Holtz just laying it off to Dobson. Headed a little stagnant there. And Kyle Hodges, he seems to have recovered from the clip in the kidneys as Dobson looking for the run of Josh Rose, but Tom Davies used his body well. Tyler Warren distributing to Pappas, who has a great turn of speed.
He's very calm, isn't he, Pappas? I like him in this central fullback role.
So close to playing A-League. He's the 18th man for Central Coast Mariners for a few matches when Paul Locon was there a couple of seasons ago. 16-17 season. Just didn't quite crack it into the A-League, but as close as you could come.
He's trained schoolboy as well. So, yeah, he's a very good player. He's got a lot of pedigree behind him. Yeah, like I said, I like him back in that central fullback role, more so as the number 6. He's a very good player in the number 6, number 8 role, but more in the back line. You can read the game really well. He's got great distribution.
And a lot of people say unlucky not to play A-League, and that's why it's good news with expansion on the horizon that players like him will get their chance. It's such a small pool as here is Will Bauer going to ground, and this free kick in decent position. They were going to take it quickly, it seemed, but Dylan Holtz thought better of it. No cards as of yet from Ryan Gallagher. We've mentioned his card handing out style, Smudge. You won't miss it.
Very
when you see
aggressive,
it.
yeah, it's very exciting, very aggressive, especially when that red one comes out. So
have they touched that ball there?
He
Well,
did.
Olympic certainly thought Adam Corley may have touched that. Gee, that be interesting. If he scores here, Adam Corley tries to go through the wall. It sits up for him again. And now Josh Evans gets a real clip from Jake McGuinness.
yeah, just back on Ryan Gallagher. He recently got engaged to his lovely fiancée, Lauren. We did a work with Ryan Gallagher at the John Arnold Hospital, and yeah, we had a little celebration for him. So he was all embarrassed. Yeah, we had all little streamers and that when he walked into work. So he was all embarrassed, which was all good. He's a very good referee, Ryan Gallagher, and loves handing out cards. I wouldn't say loves, but the way he does it is great.
So Bizzari tries to find McBreen. Header back across the face. And Bizzari now to Josh Rose. Tried to juggle it up and then knock it with the outside of his boot, but couldn't quite connect. Wheeler to Holtz. He's been heavily involved. Back from injury. Wheeler now to Bauer. He's got through a bit of traffic and just couldn't get the shot on target. So a couple of chances go begging for Edgeworth. McBreen's put one wide on that side, and now Will Bauer. And that was closer and a much better opportunity. He'll be disappointed, the youngster.
Yeah, great little 1-2s here in a tight area. That's the beauty about this surface. You can play the 1-2s in the tight areas because the roll of the ball is pure.
And now Cooper, did he bump Dobson? He did. Didn't think there was too much in it. The frustration from the Olympic players.
It's a fair call by Ryan Gallagher, the referee. Was a bump in the back.
Now Bizzari's in a bit of a tangle with Horner. He's opposite number.
Talking to Damien Zane last night, he said John Bizzari's been one of their best this year playing in that number 6 role. Good pressure by Olympic.
Really good pressure from Olympic. And now Hornery, well, if he got that pass.
And you had Mooney on the overlap. They transitioned nice and quick. That would have been very dangerous. Great pressure by Olympic.
Just got stuck under his boot. Here's Dylan Holtz, and all of a sudden, could Edgeworth make them pay immediately. That would be a cruel blow for Olympic. Here's Wheeler. Now he stands on the ball, and Bailey, well, he's got a... Well, yeah, he gave away the free kick there, Jacob Bailey. Sort of undone. Good work. Now Tyler Warren's got some work to do to prevent a corner, and he does that.
So the other thing with this surface, Bart, it's very important to play balls into the feet because the ball skids on. If it's not a pure pass straight into the feet, it could skid on or go beyond. So with Olympic playing a nice high line, that's compacting the space, and sometimes Edgeworth are trying to play the ball through and it's just skidding onto the goalkeeper. So it's very smart play by Olympic. And you know what, Edgeworth's doing the same as well.
Davies just got up above McBrain, but Edgeworth were back on the ball, and just going to ground was Tom Davies.
There's some exciting games later today, Bart. Talk us through them.
Yeah, so Magic and Adamstown next up at 12:30. And later on this afternoon, we've got the clash at 3 p.m. between Port United and Lambton Jaffers. And then we're back again. Myself, you and CT will be back for the match between Charlestown and Boambi. Looking forward to that one.
Yeah, looking forward to that one. I think that's going to be a lot closer than what people think.
Yeah, Boambi, of course, with Brady Parker, former Magic man. Tyson Jackson. Now McBrain, some space ahead of him. Bailey tried to close it down instantly. Did enough just to disrupt the veteran Eagles striker. Now Bazari. Great ball up and over the top for Josh Rose. Well, maybe just, well...
So that's what I'm talking about. Balls have to be into the feet because if they go past, they just skid on. So that's why playing a nice high line is actually an advantage because if it compacts the space, if balls are played on through, the ball skid onto the goalkeeper, like there with Josh Rose. Just bounced over, skidded on, out for a goal kick.
On the grass here. Expect they would have set up nicely for him, but as you said, Smudge just ran on. As Tyler Warren gets play back underway. The Olympic keeper playing his first FFA Cup match of the season. But their backup, Daniel Eisenhower, in goals for the opening two matches. Olympic beating Cahaba 5-1 in round 4, and then Western most recently in round 5, 2-0. Their most recent match was against Western. They won that 2-1 in the NPL. Here is Tom Davies. Reece Cooper just went to ground. I don't know if he had a little trip there or he got bumped. Reece Pappas, and I've just been notified, Smudge, by a very good source that
great ball.
Here's Mooney in on goal. A chance to double their advantage. Mooney does keep it in or not. Couldn't keep it in. We'll go back to that. Boambi also have Jake Stitt in goal, who I didn't know actually played for Lakes in the NPL. CT does have a dossier of information on him, I've been told. We'll look forward to hearing that from 5:30 this evening.
Yeah, CT's coached both Brady Parker and Stitt at Lake Macquarie. Back when I was coaching Broadmeadow Magic, playing against these guys, so looks like Edgeworth's going to make an early change.
An interesting move here from the Eagles. Just over half an hour gone. Is this the hook or is this an injury? Will Bauer.
Well, if it's Daniel McBrain, I'd say it's an injury.
Or will be.
He looks very frustrated, Daniel McBrain.
I know he wasn't well last week. McBrain, will find out whether it's illness or an injury. There's Reece Pappas. Plough that one through the Eagles midfield.
Yeah, it's an ankle injury for Daniel McBrain. He sort of must have got a knockout there nice and early, but couldn't continue on. He looked quite frustrated as he was walking off the pitch.
Yeah, not great news for the Eagles, and we'll wait and see what the diagnosis is. Here's Simon Mooney, back across the face. And now Dobson.
We spoke at the start of the game, the front four for Olympic have got some pace, and they've shown that getting in behind a few times, Simon Mooney. So is Scotty Pettit on the left-hand side.
So they're going to have to come from behind. Their experienced front man, and he brings a lot of torque out there, Daniel McBrain.
It's not only talk, but his positional play, his experience, his touches. He plays in a false 9 a lot of the time, so he's playing at the high number 9, but he'll come in, drop into the pockets. He's able to bring the midfielders into play, so he's a major loss for Edgeworth.
Tyson Jackson chipping it, and that's a little too heavy as well. Just a couple of overhit balls now for Edgeworth.
That's the thing with this service, but we noticed last year with Joe Wheelhouse when he injured himself as well. He injured his ankle. Players aren't used to playing on this surface, and so they could turn awkwardly. We've noticed a few times the ball's got stuck under a few of the players' feet. It's good to get the ball just about a yard from you so it doesn't get... Because if the ground dries out a little bit, which is a little bit slippery at the moment, the ball gets sticky on the surface. That's well played by Olympic.
There's Reece Cooper. Going to weave his way through a very tight gap there. And that one overhit towards Scott Pettit. Got that right. Pettit was in between the lines there.
That's what I mean. The ball has to go in the feet. Again, they've pushed the ball in front of Pettit and it just skids on. So other teams playing here today, I think a good point is keep the ball playing into feet because the ball does skid on. And you don't want to get the ball under your feet as well because a few people have stepped on the ball. Great challenge by Pappas.
A little back heel. McGuinness, and now Cooper distributes wide to Cody Lucas. Speeds down the flank. Here's McGuinness. Bailey,
well
neat
played.
little 1-2. Cooper now. Well worked from Olympic, but it just breaks down. And McGuinness couldn't quite win it back as Dylan Holtz was there. Now Bazari.
Some great interchanges there, Bart, wasn't there? This surface allows that.
Now Aaron McLaughlin, who's just come onto the park. He's a veteran in the FFA Cup. And that one across the face, and Reece Pappas has to cut it out. One thing that is clear is Olympic love big surfaces this year. At home, they've won just 1 of 6. Away from home, they've lost just 1 of 4 matches.
Okay.
They just love the bigger field. Smaller field, I feel the players they've got just hinders them.
And just again, Edgeworth, their transition then out to Josh Rose was well played. The transition nice and quick. Olympic need to be very careful of that. Corner to Edgeworth.
Here's Adam Corley. Go for goal. He's just dink it. There's a boot in. It's a scramble. Pat Wheeler couldn't get there. He goes to ground in the box, and Gallagher was going to allow play to go on. Now Dobson just nips in and gets it off Hornery. Now Will Bauer controls and volleys, and for the second time in the match, it's another great opportunity for Will Bauer. He can't keep his shot down.
And what I liked about Ryan Gallagher, the referee, that he allowed play to go on twice. Once for Olympic because they could get the quick break, and then once for Edgeworth where they nearly scored. Great look at this great chest by Will Bauer, and he just gets over it. The ball just stayed high for him. But great opportunity for Edgeworth to pull one back.
And on this synthetic, it does bounce a little higher. That wouldn't have helped him there.
Well played by Pappas.
Now Mooney. Going to find Jed Hornery. Scored some important goals for Olympic this year. None more so than the third goal of the match this morning. To make it 2-1. Pettit.
Yeah, well defended by Tyson.
And just angled him infield and stole back possession. Adam Corley saw the run of Wheeler. Didn't have the power or placement. And he tries to find Hornery. Now Corley.
So just with McBreen's replacement, Aaron McLaughlin's gone in that wide left-hand role, and they've pushed Dylan Holtz probably more central to the number 9 role.
A little higher than what he's used to.
Actually, no, I'll take that back. They pushed Will Barrett to the number 9 role. Dylan Holtz has stayed in the number 10 role, and they've swapped Corley. Well played by Olympic. Oh. McLaughlin's gone to the wide left role, left wing, and Corley's come across to the right-hand side. So a little bit of a shuffle.
And we've got Liam Spurway, Bailey Garland, and Aaron Pettisano of the outfield players still on the bench. So you'd expect 2 of those will come on. Spurway has been playing at the back more this year. Pedisano, very much a utility, can play wherever he needs to be deployed, and then Bailey Garland, definitely a youngster who plays in the front third. Don Bazzari scored the winner for Edgeworth in their round 5 match in the FFA Cup against Valentine. Corley through to Bazzari again. Tries to touch wide to Dylan Holtz. His passes over, hit back to Tyson Jackson.
Some great interchange there. I tell you what, Olympic could really transition quick here, and
we'll have to shut down Cooper. He sees Josh Lowe just maybe off his line. Couldn't quite find the target.
Yeah, if you had his time again, Reece Cooper, you've seen Jed Horner. He was one-on-one with Dobson virtually on that own yard box. That would have been a very interesting battle there.
Do you think Cooper could have taken them on himself?
Yeah, he could have. He's very elusive. As you know, he likes to run forward. He's great in one-on-one situations, and he's got some pace. So, and there was space in beyond.
So in the FFA Cup, in the history of the FFA Cup, Edgeworth have only ever lost one match at this local level. That was against Broadmeadow Magic back in 2014. 15 matches in the local Northern New South Wales qualification, 14 wins, 1 defeat. And they're behind as we head towards half-time. And if you have just joined us, Daniel McBrain started the match for Edgeworth. He's just headed off the ground in the last 10 minutes after suffering an ankle injury. The goal scorers for Olympic, Reece Pappas and Jed Hornery. And for Edgeworth, Dylan Holtz grabbed their sole goal. Pappas.
I know, sorry to cut you off. I know that pass went astray, but that's what I like Pappas. He injects himself forward like a Ned Zelich into the midfield when he wants to. I like him in this back position, right stopper position. So he's got great distribution.
Very fluid as well, because you can see Jake McGuinness has just dropped back in there. Just fill in for Pappas while he pushes up. Bauer. Now Mooney. Hornery the back heel from Cooper, and now it's a duel between Rose and Hornery. The wily Josh Rose is able to...
That shows experience, doesn't it? He just sort of held him up, just body position right in front of Jed Hornery, and Rose did very well. But in saying that, Jed Hornery, he put when he lost the ball, he kept pressure on Edgeworth and causing the throw-in for... or causing Edgeworth to knock the ball out, throw-in to Olympic.
218 A-League matches for Josh Rose. Was at the Mariners, Melbourne City, New Zealand Knights. Very distinguished career across Australia and New Zealand. There's Will Bauer.
Pat Wheeler back stick.
Finds Pat Wheeler and takes on the strike, and Pat Wheeler just couldn't find the target.
And again, we said it before, Edgeworth transitioning nice and quick. Pat Wheeler making that deep run from the number 6 role in deep midfield. He's done that a few times today. Olympic need to be very careful, but still good pressure by Olympic on Pat Wheeler's strike, and causing him to kick it out for a goal kick.
Just confidence for him lacking in front of goal. He hasn't scored since 2009.
Pat Wheeler
in the top grade in the NPL.
Well, he normally plays stopper, doesn't he, at the back line? And he's a superb stopper. He was picked in our Team of the Year last year at stopper. So, but Zane's moved him forward a little bit this year in that number 6 role, screen in front of the two. But he's been getting forward a lot, which has been really good, and he's got very good distribution.
With himself and Don Bassari playing a little higher this year, there's the chance that we may see Pat Wheeler break that drought. We've seen Don Bazzari score a couple this season in both the a couple in the NPL and once in the FFA Cup. There's Reece Pappas, quickly tries to knock it up forward, and Scott Pettit almost got away from Jackson. It sits up for Hornery, and Josh Lowe, that was fired at him, and he made a good reflex save.
Very unlucky. What a great strike by Jed Hornery, but great save by Josh Lowe. It's probably at the perfect height for Josh Lowe. But you know what? Jed Hornery probably could have taken a touch as well, been one-on-one with Josh Lowe. They like Edgeworth, Olympic transition quick. Had a few numbers short there, Edgeworth, and Olympic not unlucky not to score and go 3-1 up.
Great exponents of the header and Mooney in there. And then the volley from Reece Pappas. What about the technique on that?
Just wonder if they've practiced that at training, because it looked like they did. He called for a back stick, Pettit, when he was about to take the corner, and Pappas was waiting there at the back stick.
And it proves two things. There's a little bit of telepathy between Pettit and Pappas. And
it's a good training move.
Yeah, well, we've seen it already. Scott Pettit, he's put two balls right where Reece Pappas has needed them already in this opening half. Here's Jackson flowing forward. And the deflection almost fell for Holtz, and Corley there as well. That would have been unfortunate for Olympic.
And see the ball skid on with the surface. If that wasn't that surface, that would have felt perfectly for Holtz to tap it in, I feel.
Now Holtz.
Great header by Holtz.
Will be just marginally offside. So less than 90 seconds to go in regulation time in this opening half. Round 6 of the FFA Cup. Edgeworth Eagles up against Hamilton Olympic. It's round 6. So 8 sides left in northern New South Wales. Will become 4 after today, and then the final 2 will be decided early next week. Next match is Broadmeadow Magic up against Adamstown Rosebud. Serial, a round of 32. A serial round of 32 side from Northern. Magic have made it on 3 occasions. 2014, and then back in 2015, and then last year in 2017. Edgeworth also for 3 seasons. The last 3, 15, 16 and 17. And the other 2 northern clubs that have made it through South Cardiff back in 2014 and Lambton in 2016. As Davies almost a little bit of a piggyback from Tyler Warren. Davies for the long throw. Didn't have the range there to find Cooper or Hornery. Holtz again rising and winning the header. Here's Davies. Rolling one up the line. Simon Mooney. A goal here would be huge for Olympic. Or Edgeworth if they're good enough. And Adam Corley may just be that. There's space in front of him. Pat Wheeler slows it down. And that one just skidding away from Tyson Jackson. And that will do us for the opening half here in round 6 of the FFA Cup. It will be Hamilton Olympic who will head to the sheds up by 2-1. Smudge, you've got Pete McGuinness.
Pete McGuinness, Hamilton Olympics head coach. Pete, what were your thoughts on the first half?
Yeah, it's pretty high-tempoed game, and I think both teams are still in it. It's, the surface adds to a little bit of excitement. It's been good, so we're pleased to lead, but there's things to be done.
I've been very, very impressed with your transition as well, getting the ball played nice and quick, nice and forward. What's your message at half-time, Pete?
Message at half-time is when we do transition forward, we've got to do a little bit tidier. There's been a couple of moments, as we've seen, where we've probably turned it over under no pressure. So the decision comes down whether to run the ball or pass the ball quickly forward. I think we can do that a bit better. Also, they've overloaded the midfield with their 7 inside, and we've got to be aware of that. We can't play with 2 spare at the back, so we'll try to fix that up.
All right, mate. Thanks for your time and good luck.
Thanks much for that. Before we go to a quick break, interesting just change in Olympics' approach to this match. As you said, not playing out from the back. Is that a surface-related decision, or is that a change for Olympic going forward for the rest of this season?
I think it's a change going forward. You know what? They're still playing out from the back. However, like I said, in recent games, they've been playing safe possession at the back. And you know what? They might have 6-7 passes sideways, not really going forward with it, and then they get caught, and then it was resulted in the goal against them. Having about 4 or 5 times what I've seen this year. So obviously they're trying to get the ball played forward into the striker's feet or into the number 10 in Reece Cooper or their 2 wide blokes and play from there. I think they're playing some great football. And like McGuinness said, then transitions they transition nice and quick, and they just need to be a little bit better in the front third, and they'll get a few more goals. But you know what? He has to be happy with his first half performance.
They are playing some lovely football at the moment, Hamilton Olympic, and as we were saying, I'd say they're close to probably the form side, if not the best side at the moment in the NPL after watching that. All right, we'll take a break for 10. Hamilton Olympic with the lead against Edgeworth in the FFA Cup. They deserve it. 2-1. We'll see you in 10. Welcome back to the Lake Macquarie Regional Football Facility, the second half of round 6 of the FFA Cup. And it's Edgeworth who are down at half-time by 2-1, up against Hamilton Olympic. Edgeworth, of course, have made it through to the round of 32 nationwide stage the last 3 years. Hamilton Olympic have never made it in the history of the FFA Cup. They're looking to turn that around here. It'll be Reece Cooper and Jed Hornery to get us back underway. One of the goal scorers, Jed Hornery, in the opening half. Reece Pappas scored the other goal, and for Edgeworth it was Dylan Holt. So Olympic from left to right in the white and blue kit. Cooper quickly back to Jake McGuinness. Distributes wide to Tom Davies. Smudge, Damien Smith, former Magic coach, joining me in commentary. And Smudge, do you think Edgeworth can find a way back into this one?
Oh, I would never write Edgeworth off. I think Olympic deservedly, I thought, went into the break 2-1 up. I thought they were probably the slightly better side in the first half. Edgeworth did have their chances, but to pull one back. But in saying that, so did Olympic. I think it's very important. See, both sides are sort of playing a very similar shape. They're nullifying each other. It's very compact. I think they need to use the width of the park. It's a little bit smaller than the usual grass park. The pitch is what they're used to playing on. And also, I think balls need to be into the feet, not sort of played in front, because the balls are skidding. So it's going to be a very interesting second half, and I wouldn't write Edgeworth off at the moment.
So here's Pat Wheeler trying to find Adam Corley with the pass wide. Still taking a little bit of getting used to this surface with the run on the ball. Skidding of the balls up and over the top off the bounce. Scott Pettit couldn't quite find his range there, but he was superb in the first half, setting up both of Olympics goals with pinpoint balls. Here's Mitch Dobson. Davies got up high to cut it out. Josh Rose.
And again, Olympic playing a high line, really compacting the space. I tell you what, lucky Josh Evans intercepted that, because Jed Hornery, he was away. But like I said, Olympic, they play a nice high line at the moment. On this surface, it's really compacting the space, making it difficult for Edgeworth to play through.
Make no bones about it. This is going to be a really difficult proposition for Edgeworth. Down by a goal. Daniel McBrain leaving the park after half an hour with an ankle injury. And now Reece Pappas found some space in between a couple of Edgeworth midfielders. One of those, Dylan Holtz. Now Mooney. Bazari couldn't quite stop his momentum. Cooper with a back heel towards Pappas. And Don Bazari makes some important interceptions. That was one of those right there. And Bauer gave McGuinness a tug. It didn't work. And Jake McGuinness scored a couple of goals in the FFA Cup this year. Scored both in the win over Kahibra in round 4. He's almost on his way to another there. He was stopped in his tracks. Cooper angles the pass to that man McGuinness.
Jake McGuinness, son of Pete McGuinness, he's been good today, just screwing in front of the back four, just getting on the ball, playing it nice and simple, not overplaying his card.
Former
great intercept by Kyle Hodges. Will Bauer was away, and looks like Will Bauer's down. Looks like he's pulled his hamstring or he's done something. Put up very lame.
Well, you would expect Bailey Garland will go out there if Will Bauer is unable to continue. That is a huge blow for Edgeworth. Evans, the nod down. Things just not going Edgeworth's way in the FFA Cup round 6 match here against Hamilton Olympic. Mooney held off defenders, got it wide. Jed Hornery holding it up, swivelling. Couldn't stop it from crossing the byline.
Tell you what, I like this Jed Hornery, the way he uses his body. He's only a young boy, but he uses his body. He's quite stocky, uses his body very well, holds the ball up really well, but he's got a quick turn on him and scores goals.
Low centre of gravity as well. Great close control. And a neat volley to put Olympic back in front here, and Will Bauer has definitely succumbed to that injury. Bailey Garland will head out there.
This is a big blow for Edgeworth, another substitution.
Yep, and Will Bauer is gone now. So Bailey Garland, the youngster. Damien Zane has praised him as the best young striker in the club. Can he deliver on that in the pressure cooker situation of the FFA Cup? We'll soon find out. Smudge, the diagnosis.
Yeah, he strained his groin early in the first half, and he played the full first half, and he just felt it, and then...
Here's a great run from Reece Cooper. He may have even got a kick in the chest there as he went to ground and slid. He is superb on any surface, but on this speedy synthetic surface, Reece Cooper goes to another level. And as I said, when he fell to ground, he got a little kick in the head. I think it was accidental. You would say it would have been. We'll see if we've got it on replay.
And that's what Reece Cooper does best, doesn't he? Attacking players, putting the players on the back foot. He can swerve in and out. Here he goes.
Here it is. You'll just see him slide, and then very much an accident.
Yeah, he sort of ran into the shin of, I think, was it Don Bazzari?
Dobson, I believe.
Oh, Dobson, was it? Yeah.
So here's Reece Pappas. We've seen how deadly he is from this range. That one straight to Josh Lowe. It was down a little bit lower. He did well, the Edgeworth keeper.
And again, see the ball skid off. The ball needs to be in defeat. Very important. Yeah, just on Will Barry. Strained his groin in the first half. Continued to play the full first half. But he said, yeah, just niggling, and that last stride tipped it over the edge.
And that's why he didn't seem to be as frustrated as you would expect. As he came off the ground, it seemed like he'd realised he wouldn't get through the full 90 minutes. Edgeworth will have a free kick. Fair way out. Josh Evans on to Josh Rose now. Two Joshes combining. Former teammates at the Brisbane Strikers. Tyler Warren tries to launch one, but his distribution just off there. Here's Cody Lucas. Very impressive in that left-back role in the first half. And now Cooper. That turn of speed. Tyson Jackson did well to just push him wide and in the end force only a goal kick. Came through the Jets youth system as well, Reece Cooper. Five goals in all competitions this year for him. It's Tyson Jackson. Now Bazzari. Mooney with the turn. Just breaks down for Olympic, and now Edgeworth. Can they transition quickly here? Olympic with the ball through Pettit. Tries to take on Jackson, but he just overhits it. And Smudge, we've got a special guest in the box.
Yeah, he's more than a special guest. We've got Daniel McBreen, Edgeworth striker, mate. What happened to you?
Just went in for a tackle and just caught my toe and twisted my ankle. I've just got pain up the outside left of my left foot. So I tried to run it off, but it was just getting worse. So, yeah, it just came off before I did any more damage.
See if Simon Mooney can whip this one in. Little deflection. Somehow it stays out, and Josh Lowe will release Adam Corley.
And what were your thoughts on the first half? You started off really well. You had some pretty good chances. Or actually, you didn't start off with that well because Olympic scored in the first minute or so. But you had some good chances there, and I thought you were playing a great target man up front. But, Olympic sort of crawled their way back and took the lead at half-time. Yeah,
look, I just think defensively we just gave them too much, respect. We dropped off a little bit. And just gave them too much space, and you can't give quality opposition time and space, especially in the box, and they took their chance as well. Ordinary, but that's just a simple ball into the box. It should be cut out, but hopefully we've addressed that at half time, and things are looking better for the second half.
And just lastly, you're my second favourite Fox Sports commentator. And you've done a few FFA Cup games with the Ben Homer, the guy next to me. How does he go, mate?
Yeah, he always makes me look good, so it's a pleasure to work with him.
Oh, I'd say no, Macca makes me look good, so...
I must say, you two look very good in your matching uniforms today. You look very spiffy.
Thanks, mate. All right, mate. All the best with your ankle and good luck today.
Here's Tom Davies. Shoulder to shoulder with McLaughlin. McLaughlin just with a toe in. Yeah, hopefully he recovers nice and quickly. Daniel McBrain also gets over the man flu as well. Sounds like he just got a little bit that lingering at the moment.
Yeah, I just spoke to him just before.
He just shook my hand, so I'll wipe it over your back so I can get rid of the germs.
Yeah, he looked very frustrated because he loves playing on this surface and he loves these FFA Cup games, as you know. So he's worried it's not something more sinister there. So he hasn't felt anything like it before.
Yeah, okay. Well, let's hope for his sake it isn't. Here's Scott Pettit, assisted 2, trying to score 1. He's a great player in these big matches, Scott Pettit. I know he struggled at the start of the year for Olympic. He scored 4 goals in his last 4 matches for Olympic. And he just turns it on in these big FFA Cup matches.
You know what? He definitely does. And I coached Scott Pettit for about 7-8 years. So just on Olympic here.
So Hornery, now to Bailey. Whitey goes to Mooney. Down towards the line, and Josh Evans with a boot in.
Yeah, I know with Scott Pettit when I coached him at Broadmeadow Madge, he delivers at the right time. I know in a semi-final, down 2-1, he came. I was against Edgeworth, actually. He came and scored 2 goals, what got us through the grand final. Then he scored in the grand final. He's a tremendous player. He's been a tremendous player in the local league. He won Player of the Year, I think, back in 2012. So, yeah, he's a very good player.
Whipped in, up they rise, and on the way, just as far as Cody Lucas. Lays it off for Pappas, dinks it in, and now for Pettit. Keep the strike down.
Jake McGuinness very frustrated there because Jake McGuinness was coming onto that ball on his right favoured foot where Pettit was on a different sort of angle on his least favoured left foot. It would have been a great opportunity for Jake McGuinness if Pettit had left it for him.
Just to prove Scott Pettit's quality in these big matches. 2014 played against Brisbane Strikers, scored a goal in that match. That was Magic's first goal in the nationwide FFA Cup. The following year they played Heidelberg, who scored for Magic. Was that man Scott Pettit in that particular match as well.
Great
Here's
ball.
Adam Corley threaded through. This could be the equaliser that Edgeworth crave. And it's just gone outside the near post, and Kyle Hodges has gone down awkwardly. Getting up gingerly, looks to be all right. But that was the moment for Edgeworth.
Yeah, well defended.
It just seems, for the moment, Edgeworth just trying to get themselves back on top.
That was a great run by Adam Corley. Sneaked in behind Kyle Hodges and probably should have put it away to make it 2-2, but great defence by Kyle Hodges.
So it is Corley curling it in. It's a great take from Tyler Warren. That was close to the best chance of this second half so far, and Edgeworth just sticking with Olympic at the moment.
Pete McGuinness said at the start of the year that Olympic has brought a lot of new young players in. Pappas again reads the play really well, and what a delivery for Jed Hornery.
Dobson,
what a turn!
Dobson tried to cut it out, and Hornery shot is brilliantly saved by Josh Lowe. Great save again from Lowe. He is keeping Edgeworth in this match.
2 things on that. Reece Pappett reads the play, cuts out the intercept. Great ball into Hornery. His distribution is brilliant. What a turn by Hornery here. He's one-on-one with Josh Lowe. He probably could have taken it another yard forward and slid it into the corner. But what a save by Josh Lowe. Great transition again by Hamilton Olympic. Nice and quick and a bit direct.
Well, that would have gone close to killing off the match. As Mooney tries to deflect the header on goal. And there's a head clash between him and Bazzari. Mooney's in a lot of strife, as is Don Bazzari.
Mooney doesn't look well, does he?
Well, this would be a huge blow for Olympic. Cy Mooney, he looks in an awful way. And Don Bazzari as well.
And for Edgeworth, they've already used 2 subs.
Well, here it is. He just tried to flick his head, and he may have copped the front of Bazzari.
Yeah, it looks like Bazzari's forehead caught the side of Mooney's.
Yeah.
Like sort of,
and it was right at the moment Mooney's head was moving at its fastest pace into the front of Bazzari, and looks to be all right. Of course, no concussion laws in football. And to be honest, I think they're needed.
Just on Hamilton, very impressed with the way they've been playing today. A lot better speed of play, a lot better forward passes. They started the season 1-6. 1 win in 6 games.
It was their worst start ever.
The worst start ever. And I'll tell you what, McGuinness said at the start of the season, you know, it's a team in progress. They're young players. It's a virtually new side. And, you know, they're starting to get that confidence, get that momentum going.
And I know we're only halfway through the season, but it just shows you what happens if you're loyal and you stick by someone. Here's Pappas. Cross goal. Here's Davies. Cooper. That's the thing, we say it so often. Coach has a bad start and all of a sudden they're gone in a couple of months. So give a coach a bit of time and things can turn around. I know we're only halfway through the season, but here's Whaler.
The thing with McGuinness, he's always had faith in his players and faith in his systems, and he's just stuck to it. And the players are slowly bought into it and got confidence with it.
Nice ball from McLaughlin. Holtz. Slight of foot to knock it on towards Bailey Garland, who hasn't been as involved as he would have liked since coming on for Will Bauer. But it's tough for a youngster. Hasn't had a lot of game time at this level. Thrust into the spotlight. 2 injuries to key players, Will Bauer and Daniel McBrain, both on the substitution bench. Adam Corley brings it to ground. And Bazzari, just as he was about to maybe strike on goal. Pop McGuinness. Here's Wheeler. Now Jackson. Well cut out by Scott Pettit. He can't do anything wrong this morning.
You talk about McBrain and Will Bauer. They also bring goals as well. They're key players, but they bring goals to Edgeworth. So, but you know what? Don't write Edgeworth off. You know, they're tough. They're winners, aren't they?
Definitely. Here's Corley again. Headed away. Does it fall for Bazzari? Pettit tries to scramble it away. Wheeler, very rare goal scorer, into the back of McGuinness, who tries to fire up his side and push them out. Corley swivels. Bailey's header is powerful, and now Mooney's copped another knock there from Jackson. Wheeler in a tangle, and now McGuinness up to Cooper. Well, it would have been shut the gate, and Jed Hornery still flowing through. Edgeworth were asleep at the whale there for a moment at the back, and Jed Hornery almost pulled their pants down.
And just seeing Pete McGuinness on the sideline, game of inches, which it is. If that's stuck, if they're away.
He's doubling as a commentator as well. Coaching Hamilton Olympics. See Jed Hornery caught offside. It's a skill in itself. You would have been like that, Smudge, I think, if you were coaching. You would have been commentating and coaching at the same time.
No, you sort of like the players. You know, you don't want to commentate from the sideline.
Here's Bazzari.
Yeah, you just want to let the players concentrate, let them play their own game.
Here's Tyson Jackson. And McLaughlin's gone down. Edgeworth fans and players just not impressed. But
yeah, I think he went down, but however, the delivery was beyond O'Loughlin, so I don't think it was a pen. Good decision by Ryan Gallagher. He's had a good game, Ryan Gallagher.
And it's very difficult for a referee to blow that as a penalty when they clearly haven't seen it if it's off the ball. Really relying on the assistant.
Do we go to the VAR? But
a leave that hanging. Here's Josh Rose. Keep it in. If you want drama, bring in the VAR. That's what I say. Want a bit of drama? Add a bit of drama.
People listening around the country, people in Newcastle don't like the VAR.
Yes, well, I'm sure they know why. At least it gives the media something to talk about, Smudge.
Yeah, true.
You know, what would we talk about if there was no VAR?
See here, Olympic. They've had 3 or 4 passes. They're over the halfway line going forward.
Tom Davies. That's a great ball. And Hornery. Again, geez, had some chances. He put away one in the first half, but in the second, he's had a multitude of opportunities.
But he gets in the position. That's what you like about him. He gets in the position.
And if you're there more often than not, you'll score one eventually. Is that the...
Great transition again by Mooney to Pettit.
There he is, Scott Pettit. Now, he's been in the position a few times. There's Hornery again. And Evans blocking his path.
One thing what I don't like is a lazy striker. This guy is not lazy. He's very busy. He's always in the position. He's always looking to score. And he's hungry for goals. And that's what you like in a striker.
Pettit, that's coming down with snow on it, that corner. Gee, got some real dip on that.
Just on Olympic, the difference compared to 6 weeks ago, when they had the ball at the back, they'll be playing sidewards, go forward 10 yards, come back. It'd probably take about 10 or so passes to get over the halfway line. Today, they're getting over in 3 or 4 passes, and they're on the attack. I really like the way they're playing, the speed of play, their movement off the ball, their rotation in midfield.
Tyson Jackson got low to bring that to ground. Well, it's chalk and cheese, the difference for Hamilton Olympic between the start of the season and now. Tom Davies, Mooney, but they're still only ahead by 1. They've had the chances. They've got to convert them. Bazari.
Oh.
And he may have copped another one. That's 2 head knocks for Don Bazari now. Copping a boot.
Yeah, I think that was accidental by Jed Horner. He just sort of fell awkwardly onto Don Bazari's head, unfortunately. But Don Bazari's up. He's been quality again today. He plays very well in that number 6 screen in the back 4. He's been one of Edgeworth's best this year.
So under 25 minutes to go now in this round 6 FFA Cup match. Edgeworth Eagles up against Hamilton Olympic. Edgeworth have lost just 1 of their last 12. Olympic have won 5 of their last 6 in all competitions. 2 in-form sides going up against each other. Bazari, nice ball from Garland. Now Holtz. He's looking for Josh Rose with the pass, but Mooney cut it out.
You know, Bart, it's 25 minutes to go. I've just noticed Olympic, their back 4's just creeping back a little bit. They're playing a nice high line the first 60 or so minutes. Now they're just dropping back a little bit. I'd just like to see them push up a little bit, condense that midfield space, like they're doing for the first 60.
There's Dobson. Between the lines, Pappas hasn't cut it out, and McLaughlin, it may fall for Rose, but it falls for Bailey Garland. And the youngster scores the biggest goal of his young career. And that's a huge equaliser for Edgeworth. 2-2 with 22 to go.
You know, the thing is, Olympic, they had a few good chances, but you could just feel the last few minutes. Like I said, Olympics back 4 just started to drop a little bit deeper, There was more space in midfield for Edgeworth. They were getting on the ball. Bazari, Wheeler got on the ball a little bit.
And Tom Davies and Warren got in each other's way.
Yeah, a little mix-up there.
Not for the first time, actually. They had a similar moment in the first half, and after being so dominant, Hamilton Olympic are back level again with the Eagles. So twice Edgeworth have come from behind. Mentally tough. You said it before, Smudge. 2 injuries, Daniel McBrain and Will Bauer. Well, this would go down as their most impressive win if they got through this, as McLaughlin has to find a ball to the back post. This has been impressive stuff from Edgeworth.
Yeah, well, you know, like their season campaign is in the... So you got Josh Rose with 218 A-League appearances. Obviously, McBrain's off at the moment, and you got Joshy Evans, Pat Wheeler, Don Bazari. They've been premiers for the last 4 years.
So Pete McGuinness Looks like a cat on a hot tin roof at the moment. He's just walking around and looks as though he may make a substitution. Here's Reece Cooper. Mooney dinking it in. Hornery was flowing through, but Pat Wheeler cut it out.
I was going to say before Edgeworth, just before Edgeworth scored, I thought Olympic needed another goal to win this game. You could just see Edgeworth just slowly coming, slowly coming. Now they're starting to buzz around. Their intensity is increased.
Bazari. Whitey goes to Rose. Mooney. There is Bazari. Back to Rose. Now Kyle Hodges just read the situation well, but Bailey Garland, gee, he would have had a massive lift. Adrenaline right now going through him after that goal. Huge for him. Damien Zane said the best young striker at the club. Could he have picked a better time to score his first goal in the top grade in the first team for the Eagles? No, I don't think so. Rose keeps it inside the line, so Hamilton will make a change in just a second. Still Edgeworth. Another attacking foray. Almost falls for Dylan Holtz to the back post. This match has just turned in the last 5 to 10 minutes. So Blake Green is going to come on here for Olympic. Will it be Bailey to come off? We'll see. Or will it be Scott Pettit?
No, it looks like Simon Mooney. He's had a few head knocks today.
Will be Mooney. Yeah. Yep. Scott Pettit's going to move onto the left, it looks.
Onto the right-hand side, mate. They're going the other way this half.
Sorry. I'll let you do the analysis.
He's had a good game. Simon Mooney's been very busy. He's been accustomed to playing the number 9 role, that high striker role in the NPL, but it's good to see him play a bit wider on the right-hand side. That's his probably more natural position. And he's had another terrific game.
Yeah, 5 goals in his last 3 coming into this one. Did a lot of work in the front third. Here's Cody Lucas. Hodges. Both sides just
well played.
Starting to recalibrate for the final 20 minutes.
And again, see the ball just in front, just goes straight out, just skids straight out. Balls needs to be in defeat. So you've got 2 different contrasting sides here. You've got a very experienced, with a few young boys in there, but experienced in NPL level for Edgeworth, with a very youngish Olympic side.
And a lot of Edgeworth players out there who have experience in big FFA Cup matches. They've played against Melbourne City. They've played against Western Sydney Wanderers.
Oh, Josh Evans.
Here's Rose. Bazari up and over the top. Dylan Holtz. Didn't quite have the pace to run that one down. Falls for Garland again, who chips it up and over the top, and it's just going to go wide. Out of nothing there for the youngster, who almost had a quick fire double. Here's Hodges. Pappas. Again, just
nice
couldn't quite
touch.
Rail it in, but it fell nicely for Pettit. Now Dobson. Rose. Well, had to get away from both Pettit and McGuinness, and now Adam Corley. Ran into a brick wall in the form of Pappas, and frustration was evident from the Eagles bench.
You know why they're away there? If Pappas didn't read that and intercept that, Edgeworth are away and looking very dangerous. Pappas has been superb at the back for me today. his distribution, his intercepted, his defence, his organisation.
Well, it's been the same kind of storyline from the round 6 match between these two sides. Olympic led 2-1 in that one, and Edgeworth came back to win 3-2. The difference is, in this one, Olympic been absolutely superb. And it's quite incredible that it's 2-2 at this point. There's Jackson.
The thing with Edgeworth, even if they're not playing their best, they stay in games. And they're dangerous.
Exactly. You're exactly right. Here is Pettit. Trying to switch, or trying to move Rose this way and that.
They're always in the game, aren't they, Edgeworth? Olympic had some great opportunities to make it 3-1. However, Edgeworth held firm, held strong.
So final 15. First match of 4. Round 6 of the Westfield FFA Cup.
Great ball.
And now Holtz just went through his legs there.
Well, there was a bit of a shoulder-to-shoulder there, actually, between Pappas and Holtz.
I was going to say, a very relieving free kick for Edgeworth. McLaughlin's pass up the line, took a boot of Davies on the way through. And Garland gets a knock for his troubles. So if you have just joined us for the final 15 minutes, Olympic, they've led this match for much of it. 3 goals to Jed Horner and Reece Pappas. They're up 1-0 and 2-1. Edgeworth recently have just equalised through Bailey Garland, and Dylan Holtz got their first goal in the first half. Here is Tyson Jackson. Think it in. Garland was almost a scorpion kick there. He tried to flick up his heel and knock it over Tyler Warren. Well, if you pulled out the scorpion kick and scored off that smudge, I would have walked out of here.
But what a great cross by Tyson Jackson.
It's been good again on the right side, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's a very good player, very good young player. Zane does wonders with these young players coming through.
Cody Lucas, maybe looking to play 1-2 with Blake Green, former Lake Macquarie midfielder. His home ground last year, probably about a few hundred metres just to the west of where we are right now, as Pettit unable to run that one down.
Just on Reece Cooper there, great control, great touch. Beautiful ball through, but on this surface you can't do that. It's going to skid away. You just need to hit the feet. We mentioned it a few times today. It's very important that Olympic keep playing their game. They were playing with confidence. Sort of got dented a little bit when Edgeworth equalised, and they've sort of just dropped off a little bit, but it's very important they get back on the game, because this is knockout. This is winner takes all. And they're in the hunt.
Hodges.
Oh.
So the third meeting in the last 4 years between these two sides in the FFA Cup. Edgeworth, they've won all of the meetings. Back in 2015, they won 2-1, and last year they won 4-2. And an interesting record Hamilton Olympic have. All the sides that have beaten Olympic have gone on to make the nationwide stage. So if you beat Olympic, you go a long way to securing a spot in the round of 32. Shows the quality of Olympic as well. Here's Jackson. It's just shielding Blake Green, but the pass was way too heavy.
But that's not too bad. You know what? Olympic's sort of a little bit rattled at the moment. It's good to pump the ball up in the opposition's third and reset.
So Josh Evans missed last week's 1-1 draw with Lambton. He works every now and then up north in Queensland.
This is better by Olympics. So they're back four. They're pushed right on. There's only 20 yards between their front and their back. But Pappas again. He's been superb. I've said it a few times.
Well, they need to be quick here, Olympic. This front third, Pettit, great touch. Pappas, pass is threaded wide. Hornery with the back heel, and Josh Evans read that one.
You know what? Pappas could have just turned out a strike on goal there. He was right in the middle of the 18-yard box.
And that pass just away from goal just totally broke things down for Olympic. And now Aaron McLaughlin reels the ball in nicely. Cross the face. Corley was waiting there. Scored here last year against Lambton in round 6. Looking for another goal on this surface. He actually scored the winner also in their round 7 match. Their 1-0 win over Maitland.
It's amazing how the game can turn. Olympic had a great opportunity just before with Pappas. Quick transition by Edgeworth, and they're on the attack.
Quick reminder, this broadcast brought to you by Instant Access, thanks to their scaffolding for the coverage for this particular match, getting us up nice and high. The scissor lift as well. Great to have them on board for a big Saturday of FFA Cup action. Reminder, straight after this one, or at 12:30, Magic up against Adamstown, so stick around for that one. Here's Adam Corley. Couldn't get the pass through the wall of Olympic defenders in his way. Here's Jackson again. Oh, thought it was on a dime there for Josh Rose, who almost scored earlier when Bailey Garland equalised. Josh Rose was almost there. Johnny on the spot as well. Here's Wheeler to Rose. Corley just couldn't get the pass through. And now Blake Green shifting it forward. Time slipping away for both sides, and if we don't get a winner, we'll be going into extra time. And towards the corner, Hornery, McGuinness. Former Mariners youth product, Jake McGuinness, through the Jets, come through the Jets system as well. So Scott Pettit, his dead ball delivery has been exquisite.
These are situations where you really need to make them count. Dead ball situations.
Here he is, Pettit in again. Jacob Bailey! What a header! Back from injury this year, Jacob Bailey. And what a huge goal that is to put Hamilton Olympic one step closer to round 7 of the FFA Cup. He was too tall, he rose highest. And Olympic are back in front. Is that third time lucky for them now?
And again, Scott Pettit's delivery was absolutely superb. And what a great header by the veteran Jacob Bailey.
3 assists for Scott Pettit. He's been by far and away the best player on the pitch. And Ryan Gallagher just indicating to Edgeworth players that he will be taking this time down.
Jed Hornery, he's been superb today. He's been very busy. Could have bagged a few goals. Oh, he did bag one. He could have bagged a few more, couldn't he, Bart? And he's had a tremendous game.
So Kane Treble heads out onto the park, scored his first NPL goal a couple of weeks ago in the win over Western. Last-minute goal. And Edgeworth, who were just getting themselves back into the match, find themselves behind again. And this would be incredible if they could equalise from this position.
I wouldn't write them off, Bart.
No, I wouldn't write them off, but it would be incredible. 3 times they've been behind. Daniel McBrain, Will Bauer, both injured. But it's Hamilton Olympic ahead with less than 8 minutes to go.
The key for me for Hamilton is Pappas and Hodges in the centre-back line. It's all about them organising their defence. If they put a superb defensive effort for the last 8 to 10 so minutes, they'll get victory here. Very important they stay really compact and put pressure on the ball. You can't allow Edgeworth to play and watch them forward runners.
But can we just say, to kick off the day, Smudge, haven't we been treated to a great spectacle? 2 quality sides going toe-to-toe.
And it's been quality football. The service has allowed the quality football to happen.
So we said, will it be third time lucky for Olympic? Now this is the third time they've been in front. The third time lucky also against Edgeworth in the FFA Cup. We'll find out in about 10 minutes. They've been the better side, but Edgeworth have just grafted their way back into the match.
But they had opportunities, Edgeworth. They've had some great opportunities as well.
Evans. Whitey goes to Josh Rose. Really come into his own the last 10 minutes or so. Woofed up the line by Pappas. Dobson just let it run on to Josh Lowe. And it's quite incredible, but that header from Jacob Bailey was almost identical to the header from Milos Luic, which sent Edgeworth out of the cup last year in the 1-0 defeat to South Melbourne. It was a carbon copy
The only thing is Milos is probably about a foot taller than Jacob Bailey. But, yeah, it was a superb. The thing with Jacob Bailey, he jumped early. He hung, and beautiful gliding header in that top right-hand corner. Josh Lowe had no chance. I like the way Cole Hodges here is marshalling his troops at the back. They're playing a nice high line again. That's how Edgeworth's goal came. They started to drop deep. We spoke about it, which allowed space in the midfield. Now they've pushed up. There's only 20, 25 yards between Scott Pettit, who's playing the number 9, and their back 4.
And Evans, well, he's played that straight to the Magic players.
And that's unlike Evans, isn't it? He must be getting frustrated out there. But, you know, the thing is, Olympic is so compact at the moment, not allowing any space in the midfield, resorting for Edgeworth, just knocking a few longer balls, which they don't normally do.
So Adam Corley's going to leave the park. And Aaron Apetesano's going to head out there. He's been good without having his best match. Adam Corley. So less than 5 to play now. Dobson. So the side has made it through to the round of 32 the last 3 seasons. Edgeworth under pressure now against Olympic, who have never made it to the round of 32. They'll be a step closer if they can claim a win here. Not there yet. Still have to win one more match after this, but go a long way to getting them there. Kane Treble, can he run this one down, the youngster? Got a bump from Holtz, and then he was clattered into by Evans. He bounced straight back up, though.
Well done, the Crane Treble. The other thing is, see, that was like a collision, just a front-on collision. Sort of, was it a foul? Probably a tad. It's sort of more of a collision. Looks like Dylan Holtz is going down with the cramps here, which Edgeworth's already made their 3 substitutions.
Well, that's terrible for Edgeworth. They have to play the remainder out with 10 men.
I do apologise, that was a foul by Josh Evans.
Here's Dobson, falls for Pettit. Well, this would be the cherry on top. He was just, well, he's actually given Ryan Gallagher a little bit of a spray. Scott Pettit.
Yes, Scott Pettit was offside. Gallagher there just issuing the card, not with too much venom that time, but normally he loves to fire his cards out and he loves to give it with venom and force, but nice and gentle at that stage. And that's the first card for the day.
Your first card for the day, and I said, Scott Pettit, could he do anything wrong? He couldn't do anything wrong up to that point. Yeah, 3 assists, balls right on a dime. Couldn't have asked for anything more. We know how good he is at knockout stage level. He played in the round of 32 for Broadmeadow Magic. 2 goals at that point of the competition as well. So Hamilton Olympic will love to have his experience moving forward. So almost 2.5 minutes now to go. It's ticking away. An Edgeworth run of 13 straight wins in the local part, the Northern New South Wales section of the FFA Cup, could be coming to an end here. Josh Evans has clattered into the cage. He looks to be all right. Kane Treble almost in on goal, but Dobson arrived just in time. Appeals for a foul on Treble.
He hasn't stopped running, Treble, has he? Since he's come on, he's just worked like a workhorse, so this is dangerous.
Here's McLaughlin, sees the run of a Pedisano. Pedisano also has Bailey Garland with him, and he dinks it behind Dylan Holtz.
And what I loved about there, Olympic recognised the danger. They had 10 players behind the ball, putting pressure on the ball, causing the turnover. They can smell victory here.
You can see how much they want it. Hamilton Olympic have suffered heartbreak before. Now Kane Treble is doing his shoelace up. Guinness telling Tom Davies to take the throw. And appeals for handball. It's just ticking closer and closer for Olympic.
And Edgeworth very lucky that was handball. Otherwise, Scotty Pettit, he was away one-on-one with Josh Lowe. Another great opportunity for Scott Pettit to do a perfect delivery.
60 seconds now. Regulation time. You'd expect probably the standard 3 minutes of stoppage time. We've had substitutions, a couple of injuries, head knocks. Pettit again. He's been deadly today. Looking for Green and just beyond the outstretched toe.
He has been one of the best on ground, Scott Pettit. Another great delivery. For me, Reece Pappas, Hodges at the back have been superb. Reece Pappas has been absolute superb at the back for me. He's intercepted, he's read play really well. His distribution has been spot on. He's barely had a turnover. But all Hamilton Olympic have been superb.
So Bazari, now McLaughlin. Wide to Josh Rose. It's not over yet, though. Just a goal in it. And they've already fought back from a goal behind on 2 occasions, Edgeworth. Cooper. Great toe in from Bazari.
Yeah, looks like Reece Cooper stepped on his toe. Bailey's been superb in the centre. He's offside.
Scott Pettit definitely offside there. Jumped the gun. Pedisano's pass was short of Pat Wheeler. Now Jackson. So we're into stoppage time now. Jackson. Back to a Pedisano. It's last saloon stuff for the Eagles now. Bailey Garland scored a huge goal for them. He's going to need to pull another one out, though. Josh Rose plays it back. A Pedisano into Holtz. And it will be a goal kick. Definitely into Dylan Holtz.
Good opportunity for Edgeworth. Like I said, you never discount him. Josh Rose, great delivery, but Pedisano straight in the back of Dylan Holtz. That's a good opportunity for Edgeworth to equalise right at the death.
So it will be 3 minutes of added time, Smudge, as you just found out off the linesman. So we've gone 1 minute. There's 2 minutes left. So if they're good enough, Edgeworth, they may get another opportunity if they can hoof one long. Not if they give away the free kick, though, as they've done there. So a reminder, you can see the Broadmeadow Magic players in their bright red over on the far side. They're taking on Adamstown Rosebud. That's up next. 12:30, that one will kick off. That's live on Bar TV. Then at 3 o'clock, it's Lambton and Port United. And at 5:30, Boambi taking on Charlestown. Green into the back of Dobson. And it will be a corner for Olympic. This is the end of the ground they want to be at. And you'd expect straight to the corner here, Smudge.
That's right. This is where you need experienced players. Just to hold the ball up, wind the clock down. Look, there's just over a minute to go. Get the ball thrown in. Just hold it up in the corner. Even go for a corner. Oh, it's actually a corner, is it?
Yes,
I thought it was a throw-in, sorry.
Definitely a corner.
Gallo.
Guinness down in the corner. And it will be another. It will be a, it seemed to be. Will be a goal kick. I thought it may have come off the Eagles and it was going to be another corner, but so a minute, more less than a minute. 40 seconds for Edgeworth. Their 3-year streak in the round of 32 is within 40 seconds of being over.
I think the other key for Olympic, Jacob Bailey playing in his deep midfield role, he's shown his experience, has been rock solid in defence, just playing it nice and simple.
And Pappas, well, his header has fallen for Holtz, and Kyle Hodges.
Cover tackle, wasn't it?
Well, if there's any man that deserves an opportunity in the round of 32, it's that man, Kyle Hodges. Olympic stalwart of late. Here's Rose. In again, Bazari! It's gone wide. Well, that's it for the Eagles. And it's a cup shock to start off this weekend. And the Eagles' run of 3 straight seasons in the nationwide level is over. Hamilton Olympic with a 3-2 victory to start us off this morning. Tom Bazari, he will not sleep tonight.
What an opportunity. We said never discount or write Edgeworth off. That was a great opportunity in the dying second of the game to equalise and go to extra time. I just seen Damien Zane's face as he walked past to congratulate Pete McGuinness. They're devastated. They want to be in the round of 32 of FFA Cup. But you know what, now they just need to look forward to the MPL, local MPL, where, you know what, they're definitely title contenders.
Definitely, no doubt. They're still equal on points with Broadmeadow Magic, but what a result for Hamilton Olympic. They're not in the round of 32 yet, we must say that. They're a step closer. They've got 90 minutes between them and another spot in the, a first up spot in the round of 32. So full-time Edgeworth 2, Hamilton Olympic 3. Smudge, we might try and grab Scott Pettit if you can, or Reece Cooper, or anyone that's going to come and have a chat. Smudge, we have got Reece Cooper with us. I'll hand over to you.
Just having a little bit of water. Coops, congratulations on a win. What a tremendous performance. What are your thoughts on the game?
Oh, mate, look, whenever you come up against Edgeworth, whether it's a cup game or a competition game, it's always tough. Mate, the boys did well. They dug in, and cup games always go to the 90th minute, so we're very proud of them. Very proud of them.
Mate, you're 2-1 up and had a few good opportunities. Edgeworth fought back, as you know, with Edgeworth. They're never out of the game. Went back to 2-2. What were your thoughts at that stage?
Oh, honestly, anything could happen. It's a new field for everyone. We weren't worried. I don't think Pete had us calm, and he said to expect to come back from Edgeworth. They're the 90-minute team, so yeah, you know, it was just, I don't know, I'm out of breath, mate. It was good. It was good. Just
on your performance, you just come back from futsal. This service is similar to futsal. You love playing on this service, obviously.
Yeah, it's always good when it's a little bit dewy as well, being an early kick-off, so the ball moves quick. It's a different border futsal, so it's a little bit bouncy, but nah, it's quality. It's good to come out here, at least you know it's going to be on, and yeah, it's a good surface.
Reece, congratulations, mate. Great game, and good luck in round 7, whoever you play.
Whenever we play as well.
Okay, mate. Good. Okay, we've got Scott Pettit.
Yeah, we've got Scott Pettit, Smudge.
Scotty, how are you, mate? Tremendous game, mate.
Yeah, thank you. Massive win. Massive win for the club, you know. Still a long way to go, but we've got one more game, I think, midweek. And until then, the job's not done.
I'll tell you what, your performance today I thought was superb. 3 deliveries resulted in 3 goals, so 3 assists. This surface for you, I think, suits your game. It's fast, it's speed, it's good contact, natural flow of the ball. Did you like playing out here?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it, rather than just suits me, I think it suits us as a team. You know, we like to move the ball relatively quick. And as you've seen today, I think we probably deserve the win. It's good to get 3 assists, you know, but you know the boys have to put the ball in the back of the net, which they did in the end.
So Olympic started the season 1 in 6. Now you've lost 1 in 6 in the last 6 games. What's been the difference from the first part of the year to the second part of the year?
Taking our chances, I guess. You know, I think we create many chances each week. I was probably guilty, like a lot of the boys in the team, of not taking chances early in the season. And yeah, I think we're just taking our chances now. We're a little bit tighter at the back, and we're a lot more organised. You know, it took us a little bit of time to gel, but we're all good now. So.
Yeah, I think the transition, you transition a lot quicker than what you were at the start of the year. You had slower build-up at the start of the year, especially this service today. You'd be able to get the ball to yourself, Simon Mooney, Jed Hornery as well up front, nice and quick, and then you're on the attack.
Yeah, we've got a lot of pace up front. You know, we've got a few boys at the back, and you know, see them balls. And I think it was just a confidence thing in the start of the year. We just wanted to take the safe option a little bit. But now we're starting to get a little bit of momentum, and you know, playing forward, and you know, starting to get the results that we probably deserve.
Scotty, congratulations, mate. Good luck in round 7, and we don't know who you play yet and where you play, so all the best, mate.
Thank you.
Thanks for that, Smudge. Really interesting question. Hamilton Olympic get a home match, so they'd get drawn out first. If you're Pete McGuinness, would you play at a ground where you've won 1 in 6 matches at Darling Street during the week, or would you go, yeah, I think we might play here? Where would you play if you're Pete McGuinness?
That is a very tough one, because I tell you what, this surface, like Scott Pettit said, suits their style of play. Nice movement into feet, nice quick transitions, and they've got ball players in the side. However, you love play. I know they haven't won much at your home ground, but you love playing in front of your home supporters. There'll be a big crowd there on your home ground where you train 3-4 times a week. Me personally, I'd rather play at home. And you know what? The start of the year where they played a few games at home where they lost, their form wasn't good, and like they weren't gelling as a side. They're a different side at the moment, the last 6 weeks, and they're going to really push for the top 4. I think you slightly wrote them out at the start of the season, Bart, when they were nearly coming last or second last at the start of the season, but I never wrote them out, and I knew they'll come good.
Yeah, I understand, but I only ask the questions, Smudge. Remember that. Okay. I only ask the questions. You answer them. I don't write anyone off. All right, well, that'll wrap us up, so I can go have a punch-up with Smudge in the car park. I'll see you a little bit later, Smudge.
Sounds good, mate.
You have a good one, and we will catch you Quentin is going to catch you at 12:30 for the matchup between Broadmeadow and Adamstown, and then Lambton and Port United. They're on from 3 this afternoon. Quentin will be here for that one as well. So Graham Law's actually coming in as well.
Oh, excellent.
So it should be a good afternoon.
Hopefully
you can
the audience can understand him. That's the main thing. And we'll be here at 5:30 this afternoon.
All right, Smudge. Well, that'll leave us. Thanks again for your company this morning. We'll catch you a bit later on.